This video is a follow-up to my tutorial on embossing copper that appeared in the recent issue of Glass Bead Evolution. I have some copper cutouts here, and I want to show you a way to achieve two different colors in your application of copper. First, heat where the cutout is going to be placed and lay the cutout down on the glass. Now, it doesn't necessarily want to stick. Sometimes you have to push it on a little bit, and even make sure with burnishing using a metal tool that it's really stuck down. Anything that is sticking up will likely burn off in the next step and ruin your shape. But after it's really stuck to the base bead, you can heat the daylights out of this piece of copper using a direct flame. I have a miner here operating on 2 oxygen concentrators. This is a pretty hot flame. And that piece of copper is now going to look quite black and unappealing. However, if you encase it, I'm just going to keep it warm while I get some clear prepared here. This rod is a little dirty on the end. In fact, it's probably dirty all the way through, because I didn't wash it off. After you have that blackened copper on there, you can encase it either with a thin layer or a deep layer, depending on your design. And when it comes out of the kiln, it will be a dark umber or red color that is very attractive and desirable. Now, sometimes for other applications, again, just one last look, it's just a leaf that I pressed, that I encased, and again, when it comes out of the kiln, it will be an umber color. But the second use of copper is when you really want to keep the cutout a copper color. I'm going to be down here on the marver. Here, can you see the marver? All right. I am going to take my glass rod and smush it on top of that copper cutout quickly, so that, can I go over here? Sorry. So that the entire piece of copper is covered with this molten glass and not exposed to the heat. Again, preheat where you're going to place it. Take that molten gather, smush it down on the copper, and use your glass rod to bring the leaf right up to the flame. Notice I'm directing the flame at the rod just above the gather to disconnect. I don't want to pull my copper back off. And now my leaf is on my bead, and you will notice, you can see it already actually, I'll show you. You can see that it's a shiny copper color. Little tips of the ends of the leaf might be a little darker, where a little oxygen and heat got to the copper before I could encase it. But when this side comes out of the kiln, it will be a piece of copper colored leaf, not the dark umber that this piece will be. And that's the difference in encasing copper, and I hope you can use this with the embossing tutorial in your own beads.